Next, we will have a look at another undo command, git revert. Now we just had a look at git reset, which is a bit drastic of a thing to do because it removes history, especially the hard reset. So instead, if you use git revert, when you revert a commit, git creates a new commit, and this new commit is the reverse of the reverted commit. In other words, imagine your last commit, you create some files with some code inside them, and let's say you wanted to remove these files, but not permanently in case you need them in the future again. So instead, if you use the git revert command, it will undo these changes and create a new commit, but the original commit will still be preserved and in your timeline, so that you can go back to that commit just in case you needed those files with the content inside them again. And let's say we wanted to undo all of the changes that were made to commit number 4. So all of the changes to commit number 4, we wanted to undo them. So what we do is git revert on commit number 4, or you can also do git revert head, which is the same thing. It will revert commit number 4, and what will happen, it will create a new commit, commit number 5, which is effectively a reverse of commit number 4. It's commit number 4 before all of the changes were committed to it. So it's undone all of the changes and it's created commit number 5 from it. But this does not remove any of the history, so we still have commit number 4. And by the way, with all of the changes we are undoing for commit number 4, it can be a copy of commit number 3. But we don't want to go back and reset to commit number 3 and lose the stuff we have of commit number 4. We rather preserve commit number 4 and create a new commit instead. So as we can see, git revert is a lot more safer than git reset because it preserves the history. It's a perfect method to use when reverting changes that have already been pushed to a remote repository. So when you are collaborating with other users, you don't want to reset back. That could cause conflicts, which could be very difficult to resolve. It's safer to revert the change instead when you're working in collaboration with other developers. So git revert is the safest method to use when you are comparing git reset to git revert. Now the last one we wanted to have a look at is the git revert. So again, if I make some changes here, save changes and have a look at our git status, I can see my file 2 has been modified. So let's do a git add and a git commit changes to my file 2. Now if we have a look at the logs, we see changes to my file 2 here. So that was this change over here. A new change. So we added this as the new change and we committed the change, which is this one over here. Let's say we wanted to revert that change, so we can do a git revert. I think the command is head, like this, if we press enter. And I have a message over here, hint, waiting for your editor to close the file. And it's opened up a file saying revert changes to my file 2, this revert commit, and it's given us the commit identifier. Please enter commit message over your changes. Lines starting with hash will be ignored and an empty message aborts the commit. So I'm going to type my reverted commit, Control S to save this. Let's close the editor and let's see what that has done. If we do a git log again and have a look at the git log, and we can see our new committed identifier, and this is the head now, revert changes to my file 2, and we can see all of the older commits are still preserved, so we can see all of them over here and they're all over here as well. One last thing I forgot to do is have a look at my file 2 to confirm the change has been reverted, and in the previous commit we added a line called new changes which has vanished, so we can see it's undone the changes and created a new commit, so the git revert has worked perfectly fine. And that's it for this video. So we've had a look at a git reset and a git revert. Git revert is a lot more safer, so always try and use the git revert unless you wanted to remove some history, in which case you can use a git reset.